There's 3 areas we like to look at where teens and parents tend to get stuck with one another. The first area is called too strict or too loose, and these are called dialectical dilemmas where we get caught. Too strict and too loose plays out kind of like how it sounds. Too loose can be very extreme. There's no rules in a household. Kids have very little monitoring, very little consequences, very few consequences, if any. Very few expectations. It's kind of a free-for-all. There are homes like that. We know this. Too loose, too strict is authoritarian, where everything is about rules. Consequences are harsh. Expectations are not clear. People are set up to fail. In a too strict household, everything is about strict obedience, strict rule following, or you're considered rebellious or a failure or not a good child. Okay. Now, those are extremes. Most parents nowadays kind of get away from these two ends and come a little bit towards the middle. Too strict and too loose plays out in a same parent household with the good cop, bad cop scenario. Some of you are shaking your heads. Yes, you've done this. That one parent is the rule maker, the rule follower, the consequence maker, has to follow through, and the other parent is kind of nebulous to all that. Well, I don't know. That seems kind of harsh. I don't know if that's a good consequence. And they know if, and I'm sorry, it tends to play out this way. I'm not being sexist, but many times it's dad is the disciplinarian and mom is a little loose. Now, I'm saying not always, okay, but that's what we've discovered the majority of the time. So dad makes this rule and this consequence and everybody's crying and upset. So the kids run to mom, Dad's being mean and he won't let us. And what? I'll talk to him. Mom goes and talks to dad. Well, why did you do that? Why did you make that harsh rule, that harsh consequence? Don't you think that's unfair? Now mom and dad are arguing over the rules of the house, okay? And what are the kids doing? They've probably taken off and they've gone to do whatever the heck they want to do because mom and dad are now engaged with each other, arguing about their parenting style. So it plays out that way, and it also plays in non-intact households the same way. When we're at dad's house, maybe the dad's got a lot of structure and a lot of rules, but mom's house, not so much, because I don't want this to be like dad's house. I want you to have fun. I want there to not be too many rules. And dad's looking at it like, well, you know, if you had rules and structure at your mother's house, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in. So now we're at comparative parenting. And either these two households are not speaking to one another, or if they do speak to one another, they're arguing, all right? We do it to ourselves as a parent, too strict, too loose, when we shoot ourselves in the foot with our expectations. And here's a prime example. You tell your son or daughter, your room is a mess. Can you please clean your room? Yep, mom, dad, I'll get to it. I'll get to it tonight. Okay, thank you. Tonight goes by. The next day you walk by there at school. They didn't do anything in that room. They come home that night. You didn't clean your room. You said you were going to. I know, I'm so sorry. I had so much homework. I'll do it tonight. I swear to God I'm going to do it tonight, okay? That night goes by. The next night goes by. Now we're at the weekend. Now the room is horrendous. All the spoons in the house are missing. The smell, and we haven't seen the cat for days. Now you're furious. It's the weekend. You are not going anywhere. You are going nowhere this weekend. You're spending all weekend here and you're cleaning that damn room. That's what you're doing this weekend. Fine. So you leave them alone to their own devices. This room is like nuclear waste, you know. Expecting it to be done Sunday night, it's not done. They've maybe picked up a few things. Maybe half the spoons are back in the kitchen now. And the cat is now out and eating and it's survived. But it's still a huge mess. So the plan is, when you're at school Monday morning, I'm taking care of this. Get in there. Big giant lawn bags. You're scooping everything up. I can't, just damn it. Everything's in a trash bag in the garage. This'll show them. Yeah. So they come home, they walk in the room, Everything's picked up off the floor, clothes are gone, shoes are gone, trash is gone, the bedspread is gone, everything's gone. There's just the bed and the nightstand and maybe their TV and their computer. Do you get a thank you for cleaning my room? No. You get somebody furious coming out saying, what the hell were you doing in my room? You touched my stuff. Where's my stuff? Why were you in my room? You invaded my privacy. Really? Your room, you're paying the mortgage, you're paying the rent here, that's your, okay, so now it's on. So do you see how we get caught in that? Now we went to an extreme. We've cleaned out the room. They have to now go get those trash bags and put everything back in the room. Are they going to do it? No. They're going to drag the trash bags back in the room and live out of the trash bags, right? So we do it to ourselves when we don't back up, reinforce, or give consequences for something that we've asked to be done. Hence the commitment plan. If a chore is to keep your room clean, and we define clean for the teenager, and they define it for themselves too, the consequence for not cleaning your room when asked, or on a Saturday, if you set it up that way, is this. And you reinforce it right away. Because what we had happen in the first scenario is we let it go. We kept trusting them, maybe we bribe them, I'll pay you. I will give you $25 to clean that room right now. Okay, let me have the $25, sure. Because we think it's going to get done. What did we pay them for? A messy room, to stay messy. So we do it to ourselves sometimes when we've not had these clear consequences, clear expectations. So the too loose in that scenario is we let the room go and go and go. We explode, take action, and we become too strict. We've taken everything out. This is a harsh consequence. Not only is there stuff in bags in the garage, they also are now grounded for a month. And you take the cell phone away. Okay, we're really too harsh over here. So watch where you're getting caught in that. Again, making expectations clear. Making rewards clear. Not bribes. Please remember, you're not bribing them. Paying them ahead of time to clean the room is a bribe. Telling them once that room is clean and everybody's clear on the definition of clean, you get $25 if that's your agreement, then you pay for the job well done. That's the reward. All right? So watch where you are with too strict or too loose. If there's a conflict with the other partner in the house, it's going to take some work for the two of you to sit down and reach this agreement on what the expectations are that you both can back up, and back up very solidly. Okay? So it's going to take the two of you maybe working through some things a little bit. If it's non-intact households, again, you're in contact with that other parent to say, look, we've got to make some big changes. What we've just come through, we need to support with a lot of structure, a lot of clear expectations. Sitting with that person if you can. If it's difficult to talk with them on the phone, handle it by text or by email. So that sometimes that takes some of the emotion out of the situation. If you're trying to talk, we can get kind of emotional. So too strict versus too loose. In that same scenario, the child was too loose. They let the room go. After a while, they become disorganized living in a messy room. One of the something that we talk about in recovery is messy bed, messy head. So they've been asked, at least at the center, make your bed and they've got these little bookshelves above their headboard, keep that straightened up, put your clothes away when housekeeping brings you back your clothes. Make sure your clothes get kind of bundled up in the little bags and put out for housekeeping when it's laundry day. Those are their simple chores while they're with us. And they do it. Sometimes we do have to remind them, look, that bed's a mess. Before you can go to outside rec, I need you to make your bed. And it's not just throwing the covers, pull the cover up and walk away. We want it relatively neat looking.
Actually, we got Aubrey to do that.
We do. And they get rewards. They get cleanest room. They'll get a cleanest room award. Everybody gets picked every week for that. So they're doing it. And what do they get? We're not paying them. No gift cards, no money is exchanged. They don't get their cell phone. We tell them, great job, we're proud of you. They might get that little cleanest room award that they can bring home with them. See, what they're working basically for very little right now to Just get through it. And it comes with this sense of pride that they can walk back into their room and see, it is neat in here. Because a disorganized room, a very, very, very messy, dirty, filthy room, just creates that feeling. They just kind of get depressed, isolated. Not a good feeling to be in there. So kids get too loose with themselves when they let things go and go and go. Procrastinators. They're putting off that project till the very last second. They're on the too loose side. There are kids that will kind of punish themselves if they've gotten a bad grade or a low grade. If they're perfectionists, they'll restrict themselves from other activities in order to do that project, get that grade up, win some type of award at school. We see kids that even go in that direction and create an imbalance of being too strict with themselves. They can do it with food, eating too much, eating too little. They can do it with anything. The phone can fall on the too strict, too loose. If it's taken away, obviously we're on the strict side. Too loose is they're on it all the time. So it's creating a balance with them. So look at where you are with too strict, too loose. Can some things be negotiated? Can you get to the middle? Like we said, what's the definition of clean? You may want it pristine, like you could eat off the floor. That might be impossible for a 14-year-old boy to accomplish. However, the bed made, the shoes put in the closet, your clothes, okay, maybe they stay in the basket that they came in that was folded. Well, I'm okay with that. You're going to be wearing wrinkled clothes. I'm trying not to look. I'm going to ignore that. I don't have to create a power struggle over your wrinkled clothes. At some point, when they become attracted to somebody, the wrinkled clothes will become an issue, and they may not want to have wrinkled clothes anymore. So what can you let go of? What can you get them on board with? So that's too strict, too loose.